You are tuned into a special Player Spotlight interview on the CS Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the CS Podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com. I'm your host, Chris Shanafelt, and joining the show now for a Player Spotlight interview is 2016 NFL Draft prospect, cornerback by way of Missouri Western State University, Sam Brown. And Sam, we appreciate you taking some time to jump on the show this afternoon. Can you believe that your collegiate career has come and gone, and now here you are training and getting ready for an opportunity at the professional level?
No, actually. Just coming from where I come from, it's honestly a dream come true that I'm really trying to make into reality. It's huge. It's real huge. It's big for myself, my family, to really just come this far and to do the unthinkable. So I'm just ready to, keep the ball rolling and hopefully, make it all the way.
Right. And before we talk a little bit about your collegiate football career, fill us in on what you've been doing since your season and since your collegiate career has been over, and where it is that you're training at.
I'm training off at school still. I have a great team behind me, a great strength and conditioning team behind me. I also just been out networking, trying to market myself and be out there to my best of my ability. For the most part, just, doing the training here at school, I need to finish school as well. So that was a bigger reason to why I decided to stay here, because I have a significant amount of school to finish. So I wanted to be smart about my decisions as far as like going off and training and stuff like that. So I decided to go ahead and stay. I got a great team here to train with, so that's what I decided to do.
And it sounds like you made a very wise decision. Do you have any idea when and where your pro day will be at? Will it be there at Missouri Western, or are you going to try getting into one of the bigger programs nearby? Any idea just yet?
No. Well, I do have an idea. It's actually on March 24th. I'm thinking that it's just best for me to go ahead and do this one. I've never had any thought into doing a pro day at a different school or anything like that. This one would be pretty decent size. We have Mike Jordan, which is a real good friend of mine. He's like a brother of mine. He's a big prospect, NFL prospect, so I know he's going to bring in a lot of people. So I'm not too much worried about going anywhere bigger because it'll be big enough here.
Okay, all right, yeah, I just wasn't sure. I know a lot of the Division II schools or even FCS schools, sometimes they don't even hold a pro day, so it is nice to hear that Missouri Western will be holding a pro day. Any specific numbers you would like to hit? Do you have any numbers in the back of your mind that you would be upset that if you don't hit?
As we know, for small school guys like myself, it's very important to hit certain numbers on your 40-yard dash or your vertical or your broad jump and stuff like that, pro and L. When I did my junior pro day, I had actually the best time out of all the guys at my school that did it, or on my team that did it. So I'm just looking to get that in that 4.4, low 4.4 range or mid 4.4 range, and that'll help, catapult me just into a different level as far as the scouts go. And then my broad jump was pretty decent. I had a 10.7, so I'm looking to get into the higher 10s, maybe closer to the 11s as possible. For the most part, all my numbers were pretty good. It's all about, keeping up with that technique, make sure that technique and mechanics are right to, get to the next level, or, get your numbers, that 10th or 1,000th better, just so they can, see me in a different light. So for the most part, yeah, keeping those numbers up and hitting those ideal numbers would be great to help me out.
And you already know, being from a smaller school, your pro day is going to be crucial. Those numbers will be crucial for you, as you already mentioned. I do see that the Missouri Western Athletics website has you listed at 6'3", 170. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. The weight has changed a bit. I'm actually 181 now, so
okay.
I've heard through some of the scouts and stuff that weight wasn't, a bit of an issue. So, I've been focusing on that a lot. Just, trying to gain as much weight as possible, but also stay fast, stay quick, stay, agile. So that's what I've been working on.
Right, and obviously the NFL nowadays, it's become more of a passing league, and with that, teams like to have lengthy cornerbacks, nice-sized cornerbacks on their team, and 6'3", over 180 pounds is certainly nice size for a defensive back. Now, there are some studs on that Griffin defense, Sam. Like you already mentioned a little earlier, the secondary alone has guys like yourself, or now I guess we should say had guys like yourself, Jonathan Owens, who I know will be back next year, and you already mentioned him, Mike Jordan, who is also entering the draft. And I was actually able to have Mike on the show earlier in the season and was able to watch him down in St. Pete at the Shrine game. Talk about playing in the same secondary with Mike Jordan and how you both were able to complement each other and help each other out on that defense.
Playing with Mike most definitely was an honor, mainly because competing with him was one of a kind. It was some of the best things or best decisions I could have made as far as choosing him to compete with. I never really chose to compete with anyone from other teams because I knew the best was right across from me. I always viewed Mike as the best, and I always viewed Mike as my biggest competition. I knew if I could be neck to neck with him, better than him, or right behind him, one of the three, then I knew I was doing okay because I knew that, Mike is the best out there next to myself. So that's how I viewed Mike. I always wanted to compete with him. I always, when we're conditioning or anything, I need to beat Mike or neck to neck, one of the two. And if I'm doing that, then I'm doing all right. So, playing with him, next to him, was definitely something to honor because, he's a great player. He's an even better person. And we collectively, we were the, two leaders of the defense. We weren't the only two or the only leaders, but, we were, one of the many. And I think, his leading ability, we kind of bounced off of each other. We most definitely bounced off each other when it came to leading our defense. And it worked out, defensively, it worked out great. So it was most definitely an honor playing with Mike and playing next to him for all these years.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And you mentioned the great relationship you two have. You said he's like a brother to you, and obviously having the success both of you guys were able to have throughout these last 4 or 5 years it sounds as if it was something pretty special. And you know what, I got to say, those Division II schools in Missouri, man, they developed some pretty nice defensive backs. Out of the MIAA, yourself, Mike Jordan, Pierre Desir from Lindenwood a couple years ago. Some nice talent is coming out of that conference, of the Division II ranks in Missouri. Now, I know that every athlete, whether it's, at high school or at the college level, they want their last year to be their best year, and I think that you were able to achieve that, Sam. I see that you recorded 43 tackles, 13 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and a forced fumble, all career-high numbers for you. How were you able to have the success that you were able to have this past season? What was it just, you're being targeted more, or what was it? Were you just able to capitalize and finish plays more so than in the past? What was it that allowed you to have the success that you saw this past season?
I think what helped was just understanding that, opportunities come slim to none. Take advantage of them when it comes. And understanding that, nothing lasts forever. So I wanted to put my all out there like I never have before. And that helped a lot. I can remember just finishing at plays that maybe a year or two ago I wouldn't have, finished at. I wouldn't have ran from this sideline to all the way to Mike's side. If I get all the way over there, if I finish hard, or if I finish to the last whistle, maybe something could big. Maybe Mike could tip it, and just because I decided to run all the way over there, I ended up getting an interception. Versus a year or two ago, I probably just like, oh, Mike got it, or somebody, something like that. So it was all about just putting that in the overdrive, and I decided to push myself a little further. Even in the off season, coming into my last season, I just decided to push myself to higher levels and as far as I could, and really just to get the best out of myself and, put the best out there for my team. So I think just having that mentality, it helped me achieve things that I would have never thought I would achieve and, set and accomplish goals that I would have never planned on setting or accomplishing. So just really having that, that mentality change or, changing my mental or my thought on certain things helped me a lot, and it helped me achieve more than I ever thought I could.
Again, he's Sam Brown, the cornerback out of Missouri Western State University, joining me here on the CS podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com, and if you aren't familiar with Sam Brown, go ahead and, if you could, go look at some of his tape, go look at his highlights, and I think you'll come away very impressed with this guy. And Sam, we won't keep you on for too much longer. I know you're about to get ready for another training session, so we won't keep you on for too much longer. But when did you sit down and decide that you're going to give the NFL a shot? I mean, I'm sure it's always been the dream, as it is for most football players. But when did you decide that you were going to give this thing all that you have?
A few years ago, I mean, when I first got my opportunity to start playing, which was 2013, put a lot of pressure on myself. But a lot of people back home, like I got a lot of friends and, family back home, they're saying you could do it, saying you could really do it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I hear you, I hear you. And I'm a realist. So once I realized that, Sam, you really can, you really can do it. I mean, you have everything they're looking for. You're athletic. You're a blessing. You're this, you're that. You can do it. That's when I just, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and it's simple as that. It just hit me one day, and I just started putting my all into it. And when the season came around, left it all out on the line, and other opportunities came, and here we are now. So, pretty much
and I'm sure seeing some of your former teammates, get an opportunity at the next level, I'm sure is a really big confidence booster as well. I mean, there really has been some nice talent to come out of Missouri Western. Right now we got yourself and Mike Jordan. A few years ago, David Bass, now with the Titans, was drafted by the Raiders. Punter for the Rams, Greg Zuerlein, and, of course, you got running back for the Cowboys, Michael Hill. Any chance any of these guys have given you any advice as to what you should do or anything like that throughout this draft process? Have they given you any advice?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm always looking for advice, and I always know that I can turn to those guys. Me and DJ, we grew up pretty much together. We went to the same high school, so I've been knowing DJ for a long time. He was one of the guys that I got advice from when it came to my decision on as far as college goes. So I always looked to DJ for advice. So now we're in this, a situation again where I can look to him for more advice. Basically just, tell me, make the right decisions, think it through, be methodical about your decisions. And basically, I mean, just be smart about everything. Don't make a decision before you just decide to act on it. Or think about the decision before you decide to act on it. And that's pretty much all he does, because doesn't want me to make an incorrect step or anything like that, and I get that short end of the stick. But that's pretty much what most of those guys say. Coming from D2, it's easy for us to rush things and easy for us to hop into a decision, and they just don't want to see me go down like that. So for the most part, they're just guiding me in the right direction. So that's what they do for the most part.
Now, I don't think it's a coincidence that this talent is coming out of Missouri Western or really the entire MIAA. Who are a couple guys that people should look out for over the next year or two over at Missouri Western? Who do you think are a couple of guys that are going to step their game up next season?
Well, for sure from Missouri Western, just like you mentioned yourself, Jonathan Owens. He's a good player, man. He's got a lot of growing to do. He's young. He has 2 years left. He's going to be great for Missouri Western. I'm excited. I'm very excited to see what he's going to become. Then we also have right next to him Dante Watkins, which I can see maybe he might get overlooked just a little bit, but he's a competitor. He's got some fight in him. And he's a really good safety. He started last year just like Jonathan Owens. And like I said, he might get looked over just a tad, but he's going to show it. He's going to show it for sure. He was battling the injury all year, so he didn't get to do all the things that he wanted to do. But for sure, he's going to show it. So Dante Watkins for sure. Jonathan Owens, of course. And then, Darian Bass, which is DJ Bass's little brother. Mm-hmm. He had a great season last year for his position, where he had 3 interceptions, few forced fumbles, I think 9 PBUs, about 50-something tackles or 60-something tackles. He had a real good season, and he still has 2 years left, so he's got a lot of growing to do and a lot of performing to do. And, yeah, for the most part, from our team, that's all I can think of for now, defensively. But, yeah, so that's what I think for sure. As far as other teams, I'll be honest, I never really took the time out to pay too much attention to other teams, but I know there's a lot of great players out there, and there's, of course, some people that I don't know of or someone that I'm forgetting out there. But, yeah, that's all I know for now.
Yeah, it's certainly a stacked defense that the Griffins have coming back for next season. And now that we've covered a few of your teammates, Sam, let's talk about some of the opponents that you've had to go up against over the years. Again, playing in the MIAA, who would you say is the best wide receiver that you've had to line up against? I mean, is there anybody that really stands out to you?
The best wide receiver that I went up against last year, what was it? The 2014 season? Yeah. He played for Fort Hays. I can't remember his name. He played for Fort Hays. He wore number 4. He was a senior that year. Me and him pretty much went at it all game, the entire game, and he had a lot of great catches. I think he had over I want to say he completed he caught about maybe 2 to 3 passes on me. We played man the whole game, but also he rotated sides, so he would go against the other corner from time to time. He didn't get any touchdowns, but he was just a great competitor. I mean, he was really pushing me to the limit. He really made me dig inside and who's gonna win this war kind of guy. So I enjoyed playing against him a lot. And then this year, and I'm not gonna say I'm not really good with names. I never got their names, but number 6 from Emporia, this past year, he was real good. Last year, we went against each other pretty much the entire game, and I won. I for sure won that battle. He didn't get any catches that entire. Well, and not even to say it like that, but he didn't get any catches. But what I liked, on me at least, he didn't get any catches. I had an interception and like 2 or 3 PBUs, something like that. But what I really liked about him is I could tell that he went back to the workshop and he grinded and he worked, because this year, it was most definitely a dog fight, man. He was a different player. He was a different character. I wish I knew his name so I could show him as much love as possible. But yeah, number 6 from Emporia, I really liked him this year, man. I was actually looking forward to playing him again, and he most definitely brought a much bigger and better fight than the year before. So he was real good. So I'm excited to see something out of him. I'll make sure I'm at the Missouri Western Emporia game next year if he's not a senior.
Okay, all right. So look out for the wide receiver, Fort Hays State and Emporia State. I'll have to go back and look at exactly who they are and what they are able to do throughout the season. And Sam, I know that you signed with Dave Schumann and Inspired Athletes. Can you just talk about that decision really quick that you made and what it was about Dave and I Athletes that how they were able to separate themselves from the other agents that may have been knocking on your door?
Oh yeah, Dave, we kind of just ran into each other. I know years ago in high school I did the NUC camp, and he was going after Mike for a little bit, and then he talked to when he was talking to Mike, he talked me up a bit, and I reached out to him. Pretty much how it happened, Dave's he's a good guy, and he has a great team behind him at the agency. So that's pretty much how that all happened and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. And final question. Again, I appreciate you taking some time this afternoon. I know we're pushing it a little bit here, but let's say we got all 32 NFL general managers lined up and listening to this interview, Sam. Why should they want the cornerback out of Missouri Western, Sam Brown, a part of their team?
Main reason why they should want me, I'm a fighter. I'm loyal, and I'm a competitor like none other. I do not back down, and I would like to say that I'm very coachable for the most part. Very, very coachable. I just want to listen. I just want to learn. I'm hungry, and I want to grow, and I want to be all I can be for the sake of the team first, then myself. So I'll lay it all out on the line for anybody that gives me a chance, anybody that gives me an opportunity, anybody that believes in me, anybody that appreciates me and wants to see me be the best I could be for whatever reason it may be, whether it's for the team or for myself. I'm going to give them 100% of everything I got. So for any general manager out there, all 32 teams, you're going to get the best out of Sam Brown at his worst and at his finest. And that's all I got to give. That's all I will. That's all I can give. So that's what I have all the time, every time.
Well, I'll tell you what, the potential is certainly there, and the skill set is certainly there as well. If you're looking for a cornerback at the next level, a very nice-sized cornerback at the next level, again, 6'3", over 180 pounds. Sam, like I said, that's all I have for you, man, and I appreciate you taking some time this afternoon, and certainly wishing you all the best as you continue to gear up for the 2016 NFL Draft.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much.